most dangerous team? I'll start with you, fresh voice here, with 3 or more losses.
For me, it's the Arizona Cardinals. And I think DeAndre Hopkins coming back last week restored order. Robbie Anderson is going to get a little better to replace Hollywood Brown. We know what this team was last year. This team last year was a playoff team. And we're accustomed to them getting off to a fast start and then fizzling out at the end. I feel like they're figuring it out and they're flying underneath the radar. But DeAndre Hopkins, the best receiver in the game, changes everything. 100 yards receiving in his first game back. I think they're a solid team. I think they'll find a way in a weakened NFC to find their way as a 6 or 7 seed to get in the postseason.
Go ahead, Swagu.
And I'm not taking a deep breath because I disagree with you, Bart. I do think Arizona has a chance. The history tells me that they don't, but it's a new year, new day. I'm going with the Ravens. I'm going with the formula that we've seen work for years. Outside of last year when they were riddled with injury, the injury reserve had more people on it than the roster for the Baltimore Ravens last year. So I love their style of play. Obviously, they are going to be in games. We've been talking about them losing games in the fourth quarter more than playing bad. So I have confidence and faith in this team. And one thing we don't talk about, which is about to sound super boring, that really the Baltimore Ravens have over everybody else, especially in situations like this, is Justin Tucker, which becomes more and more important as you get further along in this season. So I like the Ravens formula. Does it lead you to a Super Bowl? No. I think they're going to have an elite level passing game at some point during the postseason in order to really and truly be a Super Bowl threat. But ultimately getting into the playoffs, my confidence is there for the Baltimore Ravens because they've shown me nothing otherwise.
I'm rolling with the Cincinnati Bengals. That's where I'm at with this. No. I'm just giving respect where respect is due. Now, Jamar Chase is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with that hip injury. So we going to split the difference and say 5 weeks, all right? Well, let me tell you what their schedule is over the next 5 weeks. At Cleveland, winnable. Carolina, winnable. Bye week, that's 3 weeks. At Pittsburgh, very winnable. And Tennessee, winnable. And Jamar Chase most definitely will be back come December 4th when they going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, when they hosted the Kansas City Chiefs in Cincinnati. Let me tell you something right now. I watched Joe Burrow throw that football. I'm thinking about Chase. I'm thinking about Higgins. I'm thinking about Boyd. So now you got Higgins and Boyd that's going to have to step up. You got Hurts that's there. Joe Mixon is catching the football better than he's running the football out of the backfield. Okay, you got that going on. And by the way, we haven't paid too much attention to this fact, to this reality, okay? Even though Joe Burrow's been sacked 24 times in the first 7 games, it ain't like he's on pace for 51 and getting hit 78 at times like he did last year, okay? So it's a slight incremental improvement. Then we get to the defense. Then we get to the defense. Then get to the defensive side of the ball. This Cincinnati Bengals team is number 9 against the pass, number 10 in yards allowed, and I think 6th overall in points allowed. And let me tell y'all something. I'm looking at these brothers, and I'm saying, wait a minute now. We've seen Baltimore have double-digit leads. We've seen them lose some. We've seen them win some. Yeah. We've seen things be tight. Each time around, it's a thriller. Give them credit for that. Yeah. They beat Cincinnati already, 19-17. Yep. That's before Cincinnati got their groove on. I'm just telling you, y'all can sleep on Cincinnati all you want to. But when I see a defense that is at least good, just good, not great, just good. Yeah. But you got an offense that's explosive like that. I mean, with playmakers that can just take it to the house, I'm sorry. With a guy like Joe Burrow that can fling the football the way he can fling that football, that's my team that I'm considering the most dangerous. I thought it was going to be the Chargers. I really, really did. Yeah. But I'm looking at Cincinnati right now. I can't ignore what I'm seeing.
Cincinnati might have to be road warriors, though, when you consider they already lost to the Ravens. And I think, with the addition of Kadarius Toney, you can chalk up an L for them against the Kansas City Chiefs. So now it's going to come down to that final matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. And that means that, that's probably going to be for the division. The Ravens have an easy schedule remaining as well. They're going to get a Jabu back. Nobody expected that, the great pass rusher from the University of Michigan. They're going to get Bowser back, and they're going to get healthier. So I think it's going to be tougher for them to get out of that division.
Okay.
I'm with you, Bart. I'm not mad at Stephen A. one bit. about the Cincinnati Bengals. Lou Anarumo, their defensive coordinator, has done a phenomenal job. This defense isn't giving up touchdowns in the second half of games. They've got that experience of going through the playoffs, going on the road and winning and getting to a Super Bowl. I just believe it had a lot to do with where the Ravens were last year. And that's not to discredit. Remember, Cincinnati Bengals were a 10-7 football team. They went on a magical ride, not saying they are not a good football team. They should be there at the end vying to get into the playoffs, and I don't think a lot of people want to play them if they get into the playoffs. But I'm going with the Ravens as of right now because being healthy, that run game is starting to come back and ascend itself. And then, look, man, as dynamic as Joe Burrow is and what he does from the pocket with his arm and those guys around him, Lamar Jackson in those situations against teams in his division has shown us time and time again that the playmaker comes out and it changes the reality of who the Baltimore Ravens is. So I'm counting on that right now. Ask me in 3 weeks, it may be different.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.